Hey everyone, welcome back to Bonsai Expression. I'm Christoph. Anyway, I thought we'd be taking a look at my Fusion Ficus today. So this is a project that's been going on for the last 5 or 6 years. There we go. So it's called a Fusion Ficus because I fused quite several of trees together on the on this, and it's fusing on the trunk, so you can see there. So you can see where they've all fused together. All these bits here, these are the aerial roots. So they've all started life looking, wow, somewhat like this. So I started with 3 or 4 little trees, put them together, bound them, and now it looks something like that. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be cleaning it up, and yeah, making some alterations into it. So let's get it on the bench, because it's mid to late November, and weirdly enough it's 12-13 degrees today, so it's still nice weather for the ficus. And then once it's done, we'll put it back in the grow light. So let's get into it. See you on the bench. Fusion Ficus here. So as I say, I've had this for about 5 or 6 years now, and life started with twigs round about this thickness. We took 3, 4, maybe even 5 of the trees, and I just put them together, strapped them all up with a bit of cling film, and I just planted them up. Let them grow, and as they started thickening up, the trunks all started becoming entangled, fusion, and then as you can see they started fusing, and where they fused together they've still got tiny little gaps there, but yeah, looking quite cool. Aerial roots have just started to develop as they've been inside. Now this is a Ficus Benjamina, so the root system themselves you have to continually work on. They do go, they get them big gnarly roots. The easiest way to describe it is the ginseng ficus, them big gnarly big things that look like your hands like this, they're actually the roots of these. And what they do is as they grow in like this, they chop the top of them off, and then they actually put a new rootstock of microcarpa on top of them. So to avoid that, you have to continually work on them. The root system on this one's pretty decent actually, it's quite radial. As I say, I've been working on it the last few years. So yeah, as you can see, I've got a couple of crossing branches already working up. It comes across, if I just move it out a little bit, as you can see, we just can't see into the tree itself, but if I get you in, you can see the branch structure. It is quite nice, and it leads us straight up to the top. So I'll give you a nice little spin. So in parts you can see itself, it's still got a fair bit to go before it completely fuses and looks like one tree. So main thing I want to do today is, I've pondered over this quite a bit, is let me get it to the right position. So this section here, so looking in, you can probably already see it. So them 2 branches there, one of them has to go. It just doesn't look right. So everything goes left, right, left, right, left, right, all in the right position. But then I've got these 2 branches that just don't tend to work. So I've made the decision off camera, this one's got to go, and I'm going to continue with this one. So even though it looks nice, and then once this one goes, it's going to leave quite a big area open, so all this will end up going, and it's going to leave a big area here. What we'll end up doing is wiring this branch here down in position, which will fill this gap. So if I move back out, that'll come down, fill in that position, rectifying the tree. So but before we remove that branch itself, what I would like to do is just go in and correct, well, just thin it out. So first things first is I'll show you what we need to do. So that is a good opportunity there. So these leaves here, just at the bottom of all the branches, we just want to go out, remove those. Same here and here. You can see, so this is how ficus work. At the bottom of at the top of each leaf, that's where the branch starts to grow. Once the branch grows in, the leaf stays behind, but we want to remove that, thins it out, and it lets light go into the rest of the canopy. Once we've done that, then we can start looking at the branch structure and see if anything else needs moving or removing. And it'll also obviously remove a lot of the canopy, and then we can go in and push the canopy back in if we need to. As you can see, it's just a little overgrown. So I'm just going to go and do that. Once I've done that, I'll come back to you. I don't want to go into a massive detail video doing snip on each individual leaf. I don't want to make a boring video, but what I will do at some point in the video is if I can find a picture, in fact I will do it now. If I find a picture of the tree with the branches, how it started, I'll put it here. As you can see, just twigs in a pot. Right, I'll start that leaf pruning and then I will come back to you and show you what it looks like after I've done that leaf pruning. Now, having just removed just the end bits, as I said I was going to do, so I've taken that much off already. Just by doing this simple trick, it already opens up the tree just to penetrate more light through. So you can already see the branch structure just by doing this simple little trick. So if this is all you're going to do on your ficus just to maintain it and open it up, this is the one thing I would recommend. Wow, can't get my words out today again. So as you can see, just by doing that, opens up the whole branch structure of the tree. Now light is penetrating all the way through. This also helps promote growth, because obviously light's going to get through to those branches all the way back there, and that'll help stop getting the this will help if you have any dieback at all, so light's getting back through there. So now what we can do is we can actually see this branch structure, and we can see it a lot worse now. So there you go. So you can see those branches. So let's get in with my wheels, my wheelie chair. And also looking at it, I don't really like this back branch. It's actually I've split it in the past, and it's not doing much for the actual tree structure. So first things first, I'm just going to go in and remove that one. So let's get the snips. Just here, let's try and get a clean cut. Let's try and get you in so you can see. Come on. And again, that was one of the trees I started with. As you can see the outline of it just here. That's all fused together, so that'll still grow because it's now part of the tree. So that's going to heal over, and I'll just eventually just take in with the rest of the trees. So that's now gone. So that can go in the pile. So after having removed that, it now opens up that bottom section of the tree, and it looks a lot better already. So this section is overgrown, as you can see, and then we've got branch here. This is a back branch. forward branch, side branch towards the back. So this is the branch I'm going to remove, and I'm going to continue with this one, and we're going to pull it down. So this is going to be a big cut. I mean, I could leave it, I suppose, and move that one that way, but it just doesn't look right. I want to try and have this tree as perfect as possible. It's going to leave a scar, I do know that, but for the benefit of the tree, big cut, I know, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It's gone. No going back. So we've now got a gaping hole in the tree. So we need to wire this down, pull it into position. Luckily enough, it is still quite malleable. So that, I'll try and nibble it a little bit more, but I'll do that off camera with my concave cutters. But it's going to leave a scar. Now, secondly, I need to go in with a pair of snips and start picking away at the branches that cross in. So we can see this one here straight away is going straight over this one here, so I need to remove it. So we need to come in, find where it comes from. It's just there. In fact, I need to go back to my cutters, find where we're coming from, and get gone. And there we go, we've opened up the tree straight away just by removing one crossing branch. Just by removing one crossing branch, one branch that's completely in the way, and doing that simple little trick by removing those leaves that you should always start with when it comes to a ficus, even if you're not going to do anything else. Look how open that tree looks. It looks amazing already. So let's continue. We just need to pull this branch back, and every time we're going to work on it, every time we're going to snip, we're going to do the trick where we pick, and we're going to use our directional pruning. So we're always going to pick the direction. So if I snip here like that, it's going to continue to grow and follow this path of this leaf, so that way. So I think first of all, I'll just going to continue to have a look around and see if there's any crossing branching. I'll dig into that, and then I will come back, because we've all seen me do this before. I've got plenty of ficus videos on at the moment, so I'll just keep coming back because we don't want a stupidly long video again of the same stuff. Let's just show you what I've done. So the crossing branches have all been removed, so you can see it's been thinned out a little bit more now. Let's get you in. See, we've got a nice pad developing just here, around the back. So it's all nicely trimmed. This section here is quite thinned out, but as you can see, we have removed that big branch. So as we're going to be pulling this one down, this will be pulled into place. And then so this is the front, so you can expect these have been trimmed back where all the crossing branches have been, and then I've just pulled it back a little bit. So all these pads are now going to start developing. It's all just layered nicely. It's going to sit there, and then, as I say, this branch is going to be pulled into place, which means I will probably have a crossing branch which I will need to have a look at, which is going to be here. So once this one comes down, I'm going to need to probably either remove this or trim some of this back. So I'm going to get you on the tripod so I can wire this, and then we can have a look and see where we're going from there. Well, that's where the tree is looking at the moment. So she's coming along quite nice. The trim's coming along nicely. So we've got a nice little pad coming on here, padded all the way around, another little pad here, and then as we're going to get up, we'll get into that triangular conical shape at the top. So we've not really touched that yet, but we'll trim that back as well. I'll get you on the tripod now. This is the branch we're going to be wiring now. So I've got hopefully enough wire we're going to be using. So I'm just going to wire this one, and then hopefully we're going to just wire it up against this. So I'm going to try and use a 2-branch principle. So I'm just going to start by wiring, bending it across, feeding this one over, up like this, and around the main trunk as an anchor point. Now this wire is a lot thicker than probably I'm going to be needing to use, but I just want to make sure it holds. And then I'm just going to wrap around this section as well. And again, it doesn't have to be super neat, this section, because it's just going to be moved into place. We're not bending to do any stupid twists or movement, we're just literally moving it down and into a position to hold it. I've got a leaf caught, don't want it to be doing that, so I just turn a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. That'll do. And then I'm just going to move it into position. So as I was saying, once this moves into position, I might have to move some branches or remove them. So as I was saying, this one, but this one also here is now interfering this top section. So I'll probably remove this top section here. I've got this one here growing, and then this one might actually need trimming back as well. So I'm just going to take a stand back. Let me zoom you out so you can possibly see. There we go. So I'm just going to have a look and make sure I can see how I want this tree to grow. Yes. There we go. So that looks natural, and it looks like it's growing with the tree correctly. I've got the tree growing like that, goes up, that grows in the direction that it's supposed to grow. And I've got that growing outwards. Yes, everything's perfectly in. So if I just move you around here, so you can see, and let me move you downwards. So if you look upwards into the tree now, so this branch is possibly in the way of the view, so it might go, or at least get trimmed back. But if I just move it out your way, so it looks natural, and that's what we're going for. So I think we're just going to need to make some minor alterations. So the alterations that we do need to do is at least bring that one back. So on the camera, this is it's a lot darker than it is in real life. So the camera makes it a lot darker. So it's not as dark. But ideally I'd like some sprouts going this way. Now with Benjaminas, if I cut right back and not leave any green, I won't get any buds. So I'm just going to leave it there and hopefully I'll get some buds and I can grow it this way. So for the time being, I'll just leave it how it is. That has to go. Let me move around the camera so I can see. Look through the camera. Do I need to remove this? I think for the time being I'll leave it. Now this top section, if I can just show you, is growing over, but if you look, I've got this section here. I want this to be the leader, so I'm just going to snip and allow that to continue as the leader. I'm going to ensure this section doesn't try and compete to it, so I'm just going to bring it back. This is growing inwards, just here. Let me try and zoom you in. This is, and move that out of the way. So this bit is growing in. I'm just going to remove that completely. I'm going to bring that back. We have also, so this is the main leader. This section is nice and growing correctly. This section here is growing up in the wrong direction. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to pull this back to here. Let's zoom out. So I think that's the apex region sorted out. So everything is quite flush, where we want to try and make that conical saucer shape, triangular. So if this is the outline, we need to try and bring it in just here. But that's pretty difficult because I can't cut back to non-green. I have to leave green on a Benjamina, which means I might have to leave it and then till the next trim, then bring it back. So I'll try my best. I might have to let it flush and then bring it back in. And it's not too bad here, it's quite triangular. And there. Now here it's not, where we've just repositioned. Everything else is not too bad. trimming all the ones that we've repositioned. Growing up, growing outwards, growing out, growing out, growing out. We missed one of them leaves. That's growing outwards, we'll keep that. Everything's growing out. Let's clean that bit up. Okay. I think we need to thin this one out as well. Let's clear that one out. Okay, as is the way when you play with a ficus and you trim it up, you leave it looking bare before you leave it looking great. Okay, so now you can see the structure. So you've got this first pad on the left, second pad on the right. Hopefully a pad will start developing towards the middle section here. Here, apex, some more pad development here and here. You can see right into the trunk section. We have moved, well, we've removed that branch and I've repositioned that one. We've now got a giant hole here, or what looks to be a giant hole, but once all the rest of the foliage starts growing back in, that will fill up. So this pad will grow in, this pad will grow in, and then the back section will grow in as well. That won't be there anymore. And then this is what we've just removed. Whoa, they're my crocs, you don't want to be seeing them. So quite a big load, and that's that branch we've removed. Now you could, particularly if you really wanted to, you could trim this down a little bit, plant that, and you will get another Benjamina growing. And I could use it in another section of this fusion project. So we're going to put this back under the grow lights. We're going to let this continue to grow out, and we'll come back with another update later on. So this is my Fusion Ficus project. So that's the Fusion Ficus, all trimmed up, ready for some more growing in the, well, inside under the grow lights. So, there we go. Give me a nice little twirl. Give you me a nice little twirl. Anyway, if you enjoyed it, please give me a like. Comment underneath. Have you done a Ficus Fusion project with a Benjamina? How are the roots? Did they go all big and knobbly for you, or do you keep regular pruning on them? Because I do mine every 2 years, and so far so good. Maybe I'm just lucky, I don't know, let me know. So what do you think? I mean, it's one of my larger ones, and yeah, I've been doing it for 6 years now, and she's coming along nicely. As I say, please leave a like, comment down below, and please subscribe. We're making headway now in the subscriptions. Oh, don't forget to leave that, don't forget to press that notification bell so you get a little notification to when I upload, so you don't have to guess. And on a Sunday, 10 o'clock, well, 10 o'clock UK time is when I post my videos, and you'll get a notification to say that I've posted, and then you can pop over and give us a watch. I'll see you next week, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. I nearly fell over my stool. See you next week. Bye.